Hello boys and girls, welcome to my channel, I'm for Classic and welcome to BenchART. So for today what I do have in it is Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, a game developed from Software, and they are using their in-house technology to power up the graphics of their game, which honestly suffered a huge revamp comparing to Dark Souls, because we have now dynamic shadows and all the stuff going on in here, which is quite surprisingly. So, despite all spec gamers recommend to disable shadows in this game, I don't think it is really necessary to do it in here. In fact, I'm playing the game with 800 per 550. You can do this by just using Windows on this game. And yes, you might not like to play Windows, I don't either, alright? But you can download a software called borderless window or borderless gaming, and that software will cause that all your windowed games will be borderless, so it will be full screen despite you select Windows. So you get pretty much that resolution in full screen. And I'm doing this because the game doesn't allow us to go that low using full screen, so you have to trick the game by using Windows, but then by using that software, the software just creates the full screen, alright? So it's a little bit tricky, but as you can see on the benchmarks, I was able to get above 30 frames per second most of the time, so it is pretty playable. There were some times there where the game did drop a little bit from 30 frames per second to 28, so it's no big deal in my opinion. It is perfectly playable. I mean, players that actually play the first Dark Souls on consoles really suffered from a lot of FPS problems, and they were able to finish the game. So in here things are actually much better than it was on Dark Souls 1 on consoles. It runs very well despite it is an Intel HD GPU, but I decided to lock the game to 30 frames per second because Intel HD graphic cards usually have an issue, which is they share, alright, the same amount of space with the CPU, and that can cause a lot of overheating. And so to avoid that overheating, I just lock the frame rate of the game to 30 frames per second, and that is why it is locked. Also in this video you might be seeing frame rates lower than the 28 frames per second. This is mostly relatable with software recording, which causes some extra impact in the performance. Alright, but aside from that, as you can see, the game it is perfectly stable at 30. There might be a drop here and there, but overall, it is a very playable experience despite the low resolution and low graphics. It still looks pretty good, and honestly, it feels really well. It feels really playable on this Intel HD graphic card. In case you do prefer higher resolution and no shadows, just check the Wall Spec Gamer video there. Yeah, he have there some tricks to disable some of the stuff from the game, but honestly the game will feel very weird. For example, without shadows, it will feel very bland. So I honestly prefer to play with a lower resolution and still have all the core assets of the game, all the visuals of the game on, let's just say this way, than having higher resolution but everything looks off, you know, looks weird. Alright, so that's all that I want to talk about Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Hope you keep enjoying the rest of the video. If you have any doubt, just leave on the comment section of the video. So thanks a lot for watching, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
know. 探せ。逃がすな。